Welcome guys to my channel, and today's video features the second Android TV box release for the year, running on the new Rockchip RK3566 chipset. This model is supposed to be better than the first H96 model, as it's said to have less firmware issues and missing features. So, to see what this new X88 Pro 20 can do, stay tuned. You have that right after this quick unboxing. And I'm back, and in the box you have the TV box itself. You get one IR remote, one HDMI cable, a 5V 2A DC power adapter, and a user manual. The unit itself is made of plastic with the X88 Pro 20 branding at the top. The I/O ports at the rear consist of one HDMI 2.0 port, 1 gigabit LAN port, one optical audio port, a reset button, and the DC power input jack. To the side, you have one USB 3.0 port, one USB 2.0, and a micro SD card reader. At the front, you have an LED display. And below the box, you have 4 hard plastic feet and some cooling vents. So I'll set this up on my 4K TV and capture card and continue. So this is its launcher. It's very minimalistic in design, and it does not come with a navigation bar or status bar. You have the option to add shortcuts, and you also have the option to change the wallpaper from a selection of pre-installed ones, or you can use your personal custom images. Whether live wallpapers work on this launcher or not, we shall see later in the video. Features include a 4K display up to 2160p at 60Hz. You have zoom settings and advanced color display options. You have a display game mode option. You have digital surround sound audio options. You have a display energy saver option. And it comes in 67 various languages. It does not have a root switch, hardware monitor settings, HDMI CC options, power key definition options, HDR display settings, Dolby Vision settings, or navigation bar and status bar settings. In the apps section, these are the apps that come pre-installed. And please note, the only streaming app that's available here is Netflix, and it does not come pre-installed with any form of alternative streaming apps or apps that may pose a security risk. I did a quick check to see if there were any updates, and there was one to complete, so I updated the firmware. However, there were no significant changes or upgrades. So I went ahead and installed all my apps needed to complete this review. And first, let's have a look at its system and hardware information. In the ADA64 app, it shows the mainboard information as the RK30 board. This bit of information here is important for those seeking to create custom ROMs, run Core Elec, or Linux-based operating systems. It comes with 8GB of RAM, which is DDR3 memory, and it runs on 128GB of internal storage, from which this is the remainder after the operating system and apps installed. And the Bluetooth version, according to the product description, is 4.2. The CPU, which is the RK3566, is a quad-core Cortex A55 CPU clocked at 1.8 GHz, with support for both 32 and 64-bit ABIs, which allows it to run both 32 and 64-bit applications. The GPU is the Mali G52 with OpenGL ES version 3.2 support, which is great for gaming. On the network, it shows that you have dual band 2.4 plus 5 GHz Wi-Fi support. The operating system is Android 11, and it shows that the box is rooted, but ADA64 sometimes gets this incorrect, as I will show you in a moment that it's not rooted. Under devices, it shows that it has Vulkan support, and this is version 1.1. Under thermal information, it shows that the box runs around 55 degrees Celsius under normal operation. Under codecs, it shows that you have decoders such as H.264, HEVC, and VP9 decoders for the playback of 4K videos. Similar to the H96 Max, this box is supposed to have digital audio output. However, I cannot identify any decoders to support that in this list. So I'll just have to wait for the surround sound test to confirm. And that's it for its system and hardware information, and let's now have a quick look at some benchmarks. First, its RAM copy and internal storage read and write speeds. These results are almost the same as the H96 model, just a tiny little bit lower. The Wi-Fi bands and Ethernet LAN speed tests show that it has maximum bandwidth on both the 5 GHz band and on the LAN port. The 2.4 GHz band achieved just around 50%, so for the best speeds, use the 5 GHz band or the LAN port. In the Antutu benchmark, it scored 104,156. This is a pretty decent score and should see to it that it places well on the rankings chart. In the Geekbench 4 CPU benchmark, it scored a 746 single-core and 1975 multi-core. And in the 3DMark graphics benchmark, it scored 7,458 in the iStorm Extreme test, 770 in the Slingshot test, and 535 in the Slingshot Extreme test with Vulkan support. So there is nothing extraordinary about these benchmarks, and let's now see where it places on the rankings chart. So after entering the scores on my rankings chart, the X88 Pro 20 is at position 17 with its impressive Antutu benchmark score. But please keep in mind, these benchmarks only reflect the performance of its hardware. It does not reflect its firmware features. You can view this chart on my blog in full spreadsheet format where you can maximize it and compare various scores along with price comparison links. I placed a link to this chart in the description below this video. As mentioned in the system and hardware information, the box is not rooted and it does not have a root switch. So if you have apps that require your box not to be rooted, then they will not work. And if you were wondering what level of digital rights management it has in relation to streaming premium services in HD and 4K, it only has Google Wideband Level 3 with no HDCP protection. This means that premium services such as Netflix, Amazon Prime Video, Disney Plus, and Sling TV may not work, or may only work in their standard non-HD resolution. So here I'm inside my Netflix 4K account, and if I open a movie, here you can see in the description there is no HD or 4K icon indicating that it's the official version. In my Amazon Prime Video account, you may see HDR in some of the movie descriptions, but if you actually play the movies, they are restricted to standard quality. The YouTube app plays up to 4K 2160p resolution, and here are the stats for nerds information.
Car number 6, we are moving.
4 Alpha, repeat 4 Alpha, window seat is teams on all sides.
Copy that.
So the box does not come with the official version of Miracast, but it does come with the AirScreen app and AirPin Pro. So here I'm casting my Android cell phone to the box, but it's not in HD quality like you would get with the official Miracast app. For users of custom launchers and live wallpapers, it's worth knowing that alternative launchers work on this box. However, custom wallpapers or live wallpapers do not work when you try to apply them to the alternative launcher. And strangely enough, which is not usually the case, I got custom wallpapers to work with the default launcher. And for those who value screen rotation in similar fashion to the H96 Max, this model does not have screen rotation. I now play my list of 4K videos in HDR format to see how the box handles the playback.
And only a win for Barca would be enough, because it would give them the same number of points as Atletico. Oh, cheers as a Barca player goes down off the post from David Villa. But if Luis puts it back in, what an amazing start to the second half. It's Alexis who went down. Corner number 7 for Atletico. In comes the corner, and there's Godin! And it's Atletico back in it! Diego Godin makes it 1-1.
All of the videos played smoothly, however, they did not trigger the HDR feature on my LG TV. I attempted to play my list of videos with digital surround sound audio formats, but unfortunately this box has 2 separate audio settings for digital audio, and it appears that there's a conflict between both settings, resulting in 0 digital surround sound audio output. See for yourself. so every test just results in the receiver displaying PCM. And to close off, I will connect my brand new PXN9670X Bluetooth gamepad using its one-button pairing feature and play some Android games to test the Mali G52 GPU installed. So, its 64-bit configuration allows it to play 64-bit Android games such as this one. The game played smoothly but on low graphics settings, whereas the first two are 32-bit. I did experience some throttling at times, and this is due to the increasing heat levels into the high 80s. So if you intend to play games on this box, I highly recommend that you apply a cooling fan. I placed a link in the description for the best cooling fan you can find on the market for TV boxes. In summary, the X88 Pro 20 has higher than usual benchmarks on a low or incomplete firmware. Now, I understand the urgency by the Rockchip developers to hit the ground running to push their chipsets back into the competitive race for Android box market share. But at the same time, there's a lot more to gain by taking the time to compile the right firmware to complement good hardware. I did complete one firmware update during the video, and I hope that they release more updates to address some of the issues. And that's a wrap for this video. If you believe that the X88 Pro 20 is right for you, you can get it at the lowest price online with the provided coupon. Thanks goes out to Refune for sending this model for review, and show them all the support if you intend to purchase by using their link provided in the description below. If you looked at the entire video and like the work that I do on this channel, give this video the thumbs up if the information was of value. If you are a first time viewer, be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell before leaving. This will ensure that you receive a notification when I release new videos or decide to do a giveaway. Thanks for taking the time to watch my videos and for your continued support to this channel. Stay tuned and I'll be seeing you in the next one.